what's up everyone? It is your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and today we're gonna get into my top 10 palettes for fall. So I grabbed 10 palettes from my collection that I plan on trying to rotate over the fall season and trying to use. I can't promise I'm gonna use all of them because all the holiday launches decided they need to pop out at the end of September, beginning of October, girl. So I make no promises. Then the Sephora sales at the end of October, so I'm gonna do what I can to use all 10 of these. But I figured it'd be fun to show you what ideas I have for makeup for fall. But if you're curious what's on my eyes right now, I'm sure you've already seen the video if you have your notification bells on and subscribe to this channel. But if you have not, I have on the Hollow Bean palette from Baddie Bean and Shroud Cosmetics. So I did a cute little look with that. I actually have to film my second one where I combine the It's Freaking Bats and the Hollow Bean palettes, and she said they can be used together. We're gonna try it on now, girl, and see how that works. But I wanted to film some of this random content in between while I had this eye look on because I thought it looked cute and I felt the need to share. Anyway, let's get into these top 10 palettes. Now, a couple of them I feel like you shouldn't be surprised by. Some other ones I figured I'd try out that you might, you know, be a little surprised by, but not too much knowing my makeup taste, if again you follow this channel. So first one I have is the Sigma Numide palette. Now y'all know I love me a good mauve moment. To me, mauves are my new shade. So needless to say, you shouldn't be surprised that this palette is in here. I grabbed this and did a review on it when they had a sale going on. I think it was 20 or 30% off. You could get the palette, so I went ahead and bought it. I really love the color story though. This is what I wanted the She's and Parties palette to be, like a little bit deeper. But this was the idea I had for She's and Parties now, but they gave us. So I like this one, and I figured for fall I'd use this more. Now I might pair She's and Parties with it for some deeper tones, but as a general rule I plan on just using this palette because it has like nice rush out the door quick pink eyeshadows in it. And to me that's just more neutral appropriate for what I like, as opposed to you know, a warm tone brown or a cool tone brown neutral palette. I'm just not really into brown eyeshadow. I've said it before, my eyelid is already brown. I don't need to add brown eyeshadow onto it. So that's my whole premise for not really being into the neutrals that other people consider neutrals, which are like usually warm tone colors or brown tone colors. That's just not for me. Next, I have the Laminatrix Nocturnal palette. Now, I love the color story of this, and to me, this is definitely more of a fall palette. It has a couple of pops of color that you can use in the summer that are more like neon or fun pastel-y based, but I see this as more of a grungy fall palette with pops of pastel-y neons in it. So to me, this is a good way to transition from summer to fall palette because it has nice pops for like summer colors, if you will, and then you get the more grungier, deeper tones to use for fall. So to me, this is more of a transitioning from summer to fall palette, but you know, I like it all the same. I could transition this from fall to winter too because of the pastels. I like to use pastels in spring and fall mainly, but this palette to me is just simply lovely. I can't wait till the Glamorous palette drops today at 5 o'clock. I got an alarm set on my phone and everything, girl. I am not playing. You hear me? I am not playing. Next, number 3 is the Druid palette from Fenty Cosmetica. I just love the color story of this palette. I think it looks stunning. To me, this is definitely a fall palette. I got my grungy, deeper shades. I got my greens. I got my transitioning blue to purple shade up here. I have these nice tones in here. This is a really nice, well done palette. It took me a while to get on board and grab it, but I'm glad that I did because I'm really loving the way the colors look, and I can't wait to pull this out for fall. Number 4 is my Giant Wolves palette from Utenzi and Annette's Makeup Corner. So the color story of this to me is just so beautiful. I feel like this will actually pair really well with the Nocturnal palette I just showed you all, number 2, because of the color story. I feel like where Annette has a lot of the grungier, deeper tones, I could put some more of the fun pops in with here with mattes and just use her gorgeous shimmers. Not that the shimmers in here aren't gorgeous, but she has, all of these palettes have a special dual chrome shade that the content creator picked for it. So I feel like that dual chrome special shade will go good with some of the mattes in this palette. So I feel like these two actually be good companion palettes or palette mashups, if you will. So it's another reason I grabbed them. I try to grab palettes I can put with other palettes as well. And I just love Annette's palette for fall. I think it's just perfect. So I will definitely be trying to reach out for that. Okay, so number 5, I have the Ace Beauty Tropical Vibes palette. I like this one because it has like bright greens in it. Sorry, mine is dirty, but if you all remember, like I told y'all before, this tag came cracked and that part broke out. But I feel like this is the perfect fall palette, and again, this is something I feel like can transition from summer to fall because it has a lot of deeper, grungier tones that you would use in the fall, but it has some fun, bright pops of green for in the summertime when you want to have that tropical eye look. And some people just like a lot of bronzy shades in general, so that's another reason I feel like this is a good transition from summer to fall palette, because you got these nice warm tone shades and you got some bright greens, and then when fall comes you have this deeper, grungier side of greens, and then you can use like this pop of blue, since people are still doing the pop of blue. I'm not mad at it. Y'all know I live for a blue moment, so I'll take a pop of blue palette any day. But this is what it looks like on the inside, and I am happy to dive into it some more. I've really been enjoying the Ace Beauty Palettopoly palette. I've done a couple of looks with it, and the brand has like commented every time I did them and talked about how nice they were, so I've really been enjoying working with their palettes. I'm actually a I think what do you call it, a brand ambassador or something, or an affiliate with the brand, so I think I have a code. I'll try to remember to look it down below. I honestly don't remember what the code is, so I'm gonna have to go look it up. I know, right? I'm horrible. But next I have the Unearthly Cosmetics Sleepover palette. So again, I feel like this one you shouldn't be surprised about, because if these are the type of tones I love, this one I feel like I might incorporate with the new mods. Again, like I told you, I try to find palettes that I can incorporate with other palettes, because this has some of the fun, more grungier mattes in it, whereas I feel like the new mods has more of the safer tone matte. So it's like if I have to go on a Zoom call or work meeting with the corporate people, I can go ahead and wear the Sigma new mods. And then if I'm doing everyday work where I still want to have some fun pops of color, but they're more neutral and I guess work appropriate, I could use those. So as you can see, this is kind of like the more toned down version of the Sleepover palette. So that's why I put both, so I can have a variety. So if I want to do more grunge, I can reach in the deeper shades in this instead of having to get the She's and Parties palette, or I can just use the Sigma one on its own. So I picked both of those, but I really like the Sleepover more than I like the Sigma, just because of the tones that Hayden chose. I'm really feeling those. The only thing I don't like about this palette is the sequin shade in it, but you know, like it's not that big a deal. The sequin shade is one I think I have not used at all. I don't think I have never used the shade at the bottom here, just because it has the sequins in it. Plus I just prefer these three tones up here, so when I reach for mattes in this palette, I'm usually reaching for those. Okay, let's move on to number 7. Number 7 is from the same brand I have on my eyes right now. This is from Shower Cosmetics. This is the Arcania palette. So it's what she looks like on the inside. I feel like it's just like a muted warm tone, a cool tone palette, if you will. Because see, you got your warm tones here on this side, you got your cool tones on this side. But I think it's a nice palette. This was my favorite palette from them until the It's Freaking Bats from Betty Jean palette came out. So I really like this palette. This was the first palette I bought from them, and I ended up getting a bundle with all three of the palettes they had at the time, because they had the Divinity one, then they had the, what's the other one, the Creepy Cute, the first Creepy Cute, and then they had this one. So they had a bundle of all three of these for $100, so I just went ahead and got that, because to me that was a great deal for the quality that Chloe provides from the brand. But this is just stunning. I feel like it's a little more muted too than you usually see, which is another reason it intrigued me. I feel like they're usually brighter, like the Juvia's Place one I have in the video where I'm showing you all eyeshadow palettes, or more muted like a palette I'm going to show you right after this one, the Natasha Denona Zendo, which I actually want to pair with this palette as well. But here is my Natasha Denona Zendo as number 9. I know a lot of people didn't like this palette. I wasn't necessarily crazy about it, but I didn't think it was like super bad. I was just disappointed in the shimmers, because I'm used to the shimmers being more sparkly or whatever. So I'm thinking if you combine both of these palettes together, see the tones in this one are deeper than in this one, and I feel like the shimmers in here are going to be more pigmented than these. So it's like I could use these shimmers as toppers on top of the one from Shroud, and you can go ahead and, you know, have a cute little moment there. Do I need to do a main chick side chick with these, y'all? Look how close they are in tone. I might need to. I might already filmed one with it. I'm not 100% sure. I know I did a patterns video where I showed eyeshadows and eyeshadow palette patterns and brands that came out with, and these two were in there for sure. But I'm going to pair both of these together, and we'll see how those work together, because I'm thinking that I'm going to like the shimmers in the Shroud one better, but I'll figure I'll like the mattes and Natasha's just a little bit more. So combining both of them, I feel like would be a great look. So those were 8 and 9. And number 10, the loudest palette in America. This is the Michaela Hot 2X Glam Light palette. So I know I said that all wrong, you ain't judging. But y'all know I love blues, greens, and purples. So blues, greens, and purples to me are good all year long. But since we're doing a fall video, I figured I'd put it in the fall video because I just love this color story. This one I love a million times more than the first one. This color story is just, this is just so for me. I got, like I said, I got my blues, I got my greens, I got my purples. There's a little bit of neutral going on for the people who like that sort of thing. There's a black in here for if you don't want to use colorful mattes all the time to go with the rest of the look. I feel like she just curated this palette beautifully. I do agree with Angie though, or Angelica Niqua. She was saying that it could have been edited a little bit. I mean, I agree to a certain extent, but you know, like, I like it the way it is. So I'm happy she came out with it the way it is. And that's my number 10, everybody. So those are the 10 palettes that I plan on trying to use this fall. So let me know down below if you have any palettes in your collection in particular that you're excited to plan on using this fall. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye. Girl, I done missed the whole palette. What am I doing with life, child? So number 10, I don't know how I forgot this because you know I love this woman to death. So you should already know this is Pat McGrath. This is the Bronze Seduction. I'm pretty sure this Bronze Seduction and Temptation is, yeah, this is Bronze Seduction and Bronze Temptation is the one she came up with the holiday collection. So y'all know this is definitely a transition from fall, from summer to fall palette, because with these tones, people love warm tones, and in the summertime, I feel like this palette goes off with the reds and all, like the neutral bronzy shades, and then in the fall, I feel like it goes off the same way for the same reasons, and you could use the aubergine shade for that deepening fall effect as opposed to the dark brown and lighter brown for the summer. So I feel like this is definitely one I have to use. I haven't used this in forever because we know I'm not really a warm tone girl, but Mother got me just like she got everybody else with this one because it's simply stunning. So I definitely plan on using this, and this is number 10. Michaela was number 9, but we had to finish it out big with Mother here. So now I'm actually done with the video, and you can tell me down below, like I said, what palettes you plan on using this fall, or do you have some in mind, or are you just like how I usually do and go grab some? But I'm trying to like be more precise with my collection and get into that, because I'm like, lately I've been feeling makeup fatigue, so I figured maybe if I use some of the older stuff I have and rekindle my love that way, as opposed to just trying to use a whole bunch of new stuff that I'll you know, bounce out of it. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are dimes. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.